If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is Carmentary. Neil Hartmann, your host here, driving in my car. Time to chat with y'all again. Always appreciate everybody watching these or listening to these videos. Keep the comments coming as always. Today, I'm going to try not to talk about the you-know-what. I think the overload of information relating to the coronavirus is really starting to destroy everyone. I had to take a couple days off from looking at like news reports, Google News I have on my phone, and then there's just YouTube or whatever, anything you turn on now, it's just 90% Corona and then 10% like people trying to forget about Corona. So it's a tough time to stay sane. But I took 2 or 3 days, maybe like 2 days, where I just focused, no Facebook, even now Instagram, because everyone's got to jump on the bandwagon, right? Even Instagram, you open it up and the first thing that comes up is like this special banner. It's like, get the latest information on COVID-19, resources for your business. It's like they're trying to like be on top of the COVID-19 thing, while at the same time say you still need to be spending your advertising dollars to reach your clientele. And then they got that little new story thing at the top called Stay Home. Have you seen that? Like, what is that? Like in your stories, I guess if you put a little Stay Home tag that they've created on there, then it filters all of those into this like new Stay Home story. It's like a hashtag, right? It's like an automated hashtag. So if you just click that story, it's all your friends and people who are like staying at home and making stories. It's just driving me crazy. Right here in Hokkaido, I'm just gonna cover a couple things real quick. We are not in any kind of a lockdown right now. In fact, the state of emergency precautionary measures that were in place a few weeks ago have been sort of eased back. The government saying, okay, we're going to chill out. It's not so bad now. The numbers aren't really going up. So people, and it is now officially like spring break. Although schools have been on holiday for a long time now already because of this, it's now the official spring break. So if you're in the city, I'm seeing a lot of like university students, college students, all kinds of students, kids out. Obviously, that's what you're supposed to do in spring break. In Japan, we don't have like it's not like spring break where you go to the beach and you drink and get nuts. That's like, especially up here in Hokkaido, it's still cold. Everybody just sort of goes into the city and you go shopping, you have meals and coffee with your friends or whatever, stuff like that. So we're seeing a lot of people back out on the streets. Like it's pretty much kind of like back to normal, except there's no tourists at all. Like no tourists. Places like Niseko are dead. I went to Niseko yesterday, drove around, everything was closed. Like every cafe, deli, restaurant that I know, and even ones I don't, we were looking for a place to eat. Everything's closed. I did hear from someone in Niseko that 1 or 2 people recently, it was like in the newspaper, contracted COVID-19, and I won't say, I heard where the person worked, but I won't say the name. But it's a rather popular establishment in the Niseko little village area there. So I'm kind of wondering now if maybe the rumors spread quickly and then everybody was like, oh man, that's too close to home. Maybe we should all just like shut down, take a break, because there's nobody there anyway. So that's the situation. It's kind of this weird life feels like it's back to normal, but without the tourists and the big events. And even I went to the ski resort today with the kids and some friends, and we were all skiing. It's very empty, by the way. But they're doing things like the gondolas. They have those little windows in the gondolas. Usually they have them closed, and then you can open them if you want to. But now they have them all open. There's like 4 windows in every gondola. They're all open, so you get a nice breeze coming in. And they have like this paper printed out that says, all the windows in the gondola are open to protect against the COVID-19 virus. I don't know if that's, yeah, I guess keep the wind blowing, circulate it, whatever. So that's kind of what life is like here in Hokkaido right now. There are rumors that things are going to get sort of heavy down in the Tokyo, Kanto area pretty soon. Either around the 1st of April or maybe mid-April. Sort of people are saying, we're kind of expecting some kind of a lockdown or a semi-lockdown of the Tokyo area. I don't know if that's going to happen in Hokkaido. I certainly hope not. Hope it's not needed. But I could see that definitely happening in the Tokyo area. It seems like it's building up to that right now. That's the kind of feeling on the ground here in Japan. As far as the skiing and snowboarding community, wow, it's so strange again. We had a really late winter, low snow year. In the end, it did kind of like pick up a bit and kept snowing, and that was right about when this whole thing blew up and everybody went home. So the snow conditions are quite good right now. Beautiful weather. Today we had that film crust, like gorgeous spring corn snow conditions. It's really nice. Fast, not sticky at all. It's really good. But again, empty. Nobody on the hill. Feels very strange. And just knowing that everyone in Europe, everyone in North America, the ski resorts are all closed. Everything's shut down. Everybody is staying at home. Quarantine, lockdown. And here we are in Japan where, we were like the first ones to kind of get hit with this whole thing, and everybody was freaking out. And now we're all just sort of driving around, shopping and going to restaurants and skiing. Like, what happened? Is this okay? It feels quite strange. I filmed a little bit today, and I thought I'd dedicate some of my runs to all those around the world who aren't able to go skiing and snowboarding right now. I guess you can go hike up a mountain, unless they've got police out, just literally not letting you out of your house. I'm sure there are people, still splitboarding or hiking and skiing and snowboarding, but riding a lift and doing what we're doing seems like, we're one of the few places left. So that is the situation here. And what am I up to now? I talk so damn much. It's already 8 minutes, and I was going to talk about something else. What should we do? Okay, real quick. My other topic is this kind of humorous story. Hope it brightens up your day a bit. This last week, I had a movie project that I was working on for a big client. It was a government contract to promote Hokkaido, and I was in charge. I was hired as the director, filmer, editor. So kind of was doing everything. And a couple people on the crew I'd worked before with, but the main person in charge was someone totally new to me. So it's always tricky when you go into these new jobs. You never know quite what to expect or how the relationships are going to develop. And at the end of it, I realized that I had come down with something that I now call PTED. And it's very similar to PTSDs, which, as you probably know, is post-traumatic stress disorder, right? That is the disorder that people who go into like heavy combat situations and warfare, like super stressful situations, and then you come back to like normal life and you just realize how screwed up you are. I guess that's kind of what my understanding of it is. I've not studied the subject, and I in no way making light of people who have been or go into like combat situations and have post-traumatic stress disorder. But there is something called post-traumatic editing disorder. And that's kind of what I was dealing with all this last week. It's when you go into a video movie edit so heavy, so deep, and you're working so hard and so much concentration, that alone can create some post-traumatic stress. But then if you have someone or a group of people on your case, nitpicking every little detail of how you work, and just grinding, like literally just like it can break you. As you can see, I'm still here. I'm alive, driving in my car, so I'm okay. But I think there really is something out there for creators or artists who, you know, especially people who do like a lot of corporate work. If you are just purely creating art in your studio, you know, maybe it's a stress-free kind of thing, but anytime you try to do something, especially something creative for someone or some organization, and then there's a lot of opinions, and maybe it should be more like this, and maybe it should be more like that, and you go down the rabbit hole, and when you come out the other end, you're just like, I have PTED, post-traumatic editing disorder. So be careful. It's a pretty heavy thing. Yeah, that's all I was going to talk about today, folks. Post-traumatic editing disorder. Be careful of that if you are an edit. I'm sure there's probably like 2 or 3 people who are going to watch this and go, that's kind of funny. I understand that. And everybody else is going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Wasting our time. Hope you enjoyed the update. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whether you are staying home in a lockdown situation or you can get out there, I do advise to lay off of the overly dramatized news reports. This is a really good time to stop looking at social media. Kind of have that feeling. But I do still appreciate, you know, the ability we have to share our opinions and on the ground kind of news reports like in this form. I think YouTube's still my favorite, because you can find everything there. You can that was not okay. In closing, I drove out to Niseko yesterday and I stopped by a friend's place. He has a cafe, and in the summer he runs a farm, and he was building this structure with 2x4s all by hand. And he just had like the framing up for the walls, and it's going to be like a greenhouse apparently. And I said, what about the roof? You're going to put a roof on, right? And he said, yeah, but I haven't watched YouTube yet to see how to do it. And I thought that was really cool. This guy, he does everything from YouTube. Like, he'll learn everything. He learned how to make coffee, like really good coffee. He learned how to do all the stuff he does in his cafe, and the gardening, like everything. He just goes on YouTube, watches all those tutorials, and then does it. And I thought that was really cool. He built the walls, but he hadn't watched the video about how to put the roof on yet. Pretty cool world we're living in, except for the virus stuff. That's it for me today, folks. Yeah, have a good one. And I'll be back again with another update on life from Hokkaido, Japan. Drive safe, everybody.
If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.